Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to the Dear John Show, Sunday the 4th of February 2018. We got a jam-packed show today. Lots and lots of things coming up today. I hope everybody's had a good week. I hope everybody's in good health. And a big happy Friendship Day to all of you out there. And I've got a list here beside me as well of friends, very special friends that I've had since I first started Facebook, and let them know I haven't forgotten all about you, and I never will. So I'm going to give them a shout out for the happy Friendship Days, as well as everybody else out there today. Johnny P. Lee, how are you? It's great to see you in. And I just run through this list. Christine Barker, wow. I was sweating, Christine. I hadn't heard from you. I thought you'd done a runner, but I knew you wouldn't, really. Let's see. I have Joan Burke, Theresa Patterson, Susan Worrell, Phil O'Rourke McDermott, Sandra O'Reilly, Gina Osborne Cully, Helen Comerford, Michelle Fitzpatrick Dennehy, Ed Clinton, Linda Nolan, Hank Buchma, Shirley Shattuck, Charlotte Rains, Tracy Woodhead, Diane Reid Burgess, Livia York, Ciara O'Driscoll, Emma Quinn, Jackie Stevens, Penny Fitzpatrick, and you've always got that one bestest friend in your life, Livia. It is so beautiful to see you back, and I'm delighted. It was an absolute success with your operation. Thank God. Our angel is back. Well done. Great fight. Nina Thilo, wasn't expecting you. Joy, Backhad, how are you, my friend? Good to see you here. Nina, I'm glad to see you here as well. I really am. And Charlotte Rains, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. And to me, bestest friend in the whole wide world, because if I don't say this, I'll get knocked out, or I'll get worked harder at the gymnasium. That's my son, Jack Kavanagh. And to all my kids in Ireland, James, Stacey, Anthony, Daniel, and Jonathan, rest your son. Happy Friendship Day. Paul Sebastian, how the devil are you? What have we got in line today? Let's have a look around at all the pieces of paper. What have I got? I have a real life story from Charlotte Rains. And it's in Charlotte's area that this story comes from. I've also got, in which I've done, the mentions for the Friendship Day. And I have Timothy Payton, who was with us last week. Timothy Payton was with us last week to read his poem, and we had gremlins. Do you remember? The little gremlins got in and took all the internet away. Oh, I have Christine Barker reading for us today. And we have our new programme this week, the review. And people have asked, what is the review? Well, we're going to find out a little later on what the review is. And that review is with Marna Dupree Badgerow. Marna, you're going to be the review this week. Alexandra Rodriguez. Yeah, what a big group already. Tabitha, welcome. Janice Fisher, welcome. I'm going to find it hard to keep up with all this. I really and truly am. This is going to be crazy for me. Like I said, we have a show here. I'm going to start the show with a little call out, one more little call out. And this is something I came across, wow, I think it was about Wednesday, Tuesday or Wednesday. And I came across something about it the week before. And Diane Forbes Crompton gave me a lot of information on this particular group. We do this show each week, we do it live from Facebook. The show I'm going to talk about is not Facebook based. It's Skype based. You found them in on Skype. It's World Poetry Open Mic. And I've listened to a couple of shows of it now, and wow, it is absolutely brilliant. You ring up, you get through, you come on with your poem, they have a little chat. And it's absolutely brilliant. The hosts that is JT, that's Jaytee, and Christine Gunter. We have Michael. I hope I get your second name right, Michael. Amidi. And the email, if you want to email this group for their show and get involved, it's worldpoetryopenmic@gmail.com. Have a look in their archives. Just type in World Poetry Open Mic. You might come to the archives. Go into the archives and listen to one or two of the shows. It's absolutely brilliant. People just ring up on Skype and they're in. They're there on the show. It's absolutely... Marna, I am delighted to see you. Now I can turn my camera to the other side and find that you've got... Oh, brilliant. I've got a camera for you, and I've got one for Timothy. So you're my two on tonight, and of course Christine. Where would we be without Christine? We'd have no poetry read out at all. I can't be trusted on my own. Yes, Christine, you've got a green camera too, my dear. So let's see where we're going to start. We're going to start with Charlotte's story today. The story today comes from Charlotte's area. Did I write it down? I did. Coolidge, Arizona. And it's called the River Fire. Fire crews have been fighting a growing brush fire that started on Wednesday in Pinal County, where she lives. According to the Arizona Department of Forestry and Fire, the fire is estimated to have grown to over 110 acres. Man, what is happening in America? America's burning. We used to have a program here in the UK called London's Burning. Well, the whole of America is burning. Every time you look, it's a new fire, with over 40% containment this Thursday afternoon. The fire, now known as the River Fire, is active on the southeast side near the reservoir. The structures are threatened as the fire burns salt, cedar and vegetation. No injuries have been reported to date. Officials say they still have not determined how the fire started. They haven't. The amount of fires over the last 3 months in the USA have been absolutely, that big, huge fire that took hundreds of homes out, left thousands homeless. What's happening? Are we getting too hot? Is this going to be put down to global warming? I mean, surely the earth has been hotter at some time and not a fire was caused. It's just getting crazier and crazier and crazier. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to bring our man back this week who got the gremlins last week, and I have my fingers crossed, my toes crossed, I have everything crossed that can be crossed here today for Timothy Payton. So Timothy, I hope you're ready, because I'm all ready now. Sarah Brennan, thank you for coming in. Absolutely brilliant seeing you here. Where are you gone, Timothy? There you are. So we're going to bring Timothy in, and we're going to have two of Timothy's poems. And hopefully the gremlins have been left at home. I'm hoping so anyway. Timothy declined. I don't believe this. Where is Timothy Payton? Wow. Timothy, there you are.
John.
He came back and said to me, declined. Good to see you, bro. How is everything?
Good to see you too, brother. Everything's lovely. Everything's lovely. Everything's good. I feel great today. I feel better.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Come back to me, Timothy.
Here we go. Here we go.
Right. Listen, you've had a great week.
All right.
You've had a great week of videos, haven't you?
Thank you. Yeah, I've been on fire. But what I want to say is I want to read the poem I was supposed to read last week, Addiction. And
Yes.
also I would like to read an extra special treat for, missing out from it's going to be a duet with me and Gopal Kumar Radha Krishnan from India, and it's called Come Together. And I'll read my verse today on here, and I think it's a real enlightening, bring together conglomerate. So let's get this thing underway, shall we?
So you're going to start with addiction?
What's that?
Are you starting with addiction?
Yes, I am. I'm starting with addiction. And
what is all
yeah.
yours, Timothy?
Here we go. Hopefully we stay online. Keep your fingers crossed. Addiction. I will pull you down into a personal hell. Make you suffer mentally, physically, into where your spirituality dwells. Take your esteem away. Numb your soul. Change your own character. Turn you so cold. Put you in a prison of pain. shackle you inside. I create a bond within you that's unbreakable until you die. I will make you lie, steal, deceive, and manipulate. I make you untrusting. You become a hot steak. While I'll lower your standards, I'll also take your dreams. Keep you up all night hurting while inside screaming. You cannot sleep without me. Sometimes you are not awake. I make it heavy on you that you just might break. I make you so self-absorbed, reclusive as can be. The only way out is death because you're tired of living. All you can think of is the hunger that you must feed. My name is craving. Keeping me good is great, but never enough is in the making. I'm a plague, an epidemic. Overwhelming is where I stay. With you all your life, yet I can be contained. I will take away your loved ones, things you love. On the inside, I decay you and fit your body like a glove. I will leave you restless, nervous, agitated, and irritable. Everybody and thing makes you uncomfortable and critical. I will confuse you, leave you so depressed and negative, fearful, paranoid, make you hate yourself and body so vacant, make you guilt and remorseful, making sure I last, especially on your actions you done in the past and never let go. I make you feel sorry for yourself and blame everything on the ways that they are in your life, especially on the cravings I bring. I leave you angry and hateful towards everything in this very world. For everything I bring in, you begin by bringing me in. This is how I'm started. Your addiction, my friend. Addiction. Thank you.
Absolutely brilliant. That is an addiction and a half you've written. Absolutely fabulous. Well done. Absolutely brilliant.
Yes,
While
yes.
I'm
I wrote
talking to
that
you
from
just for a
personal
second,
experience.
I just want to say hello to a few people that have come in. Lillian Wu, Angela Goodon, Janice Fisher, and Jan Mather. Thank you guys for joining in at the show. Absolutely brilliant to see the numbers grow.
Thank you.
But back to addiction.
Thank you.
What brought addiction on to
Well,
form the actual poem?
Well, addiction came to a point when I come into writing. I write about very personal, very heartfelt things, and that just was me. I've dealt with addiction, alcoholism for over 25 years, and it was a really major, you know, stepping of a stumble stone, I should say. And I went ahead and just I had to put it out. I also wrote one on depression, and that really hits hard. But those two, especially addiction, that really just really did something, to the people. And it was my very first poem I read in front of a live audience of 200. So that I kind of like is my my treasure piece in a sense.
That's what you want, and that's what it's all about. I mean, if you're going to be a writer, you must get so much satisfaction as well as give so much satisfaction to those out there that you're aiming at. You must feel something in yourself when you're finished. You put your time, your effort, your heart, and your soul into what
Yes,
you're trying to do.
I put myself into and out my work.
Yeah.
But
Well, what
what
your
I would
second
like to
one?
do
It's a
now
duet.
is to read. Yes, I got
Yeah.
not a one but a two. And this poem is for everyone watching right now, will be watching, and hopefully this gets shared each and everywhere over there from West Virginia in the United States to Ireland, top of the day of the morning to y'all. I give to you all, come together. Please love and please appreciate. Let's all come together like moths to light, to become one with the light, to shine so bright. Let's come together like magnets that attract, to have a connection amongst us that reacts and comes back. Let's come together to be one as family, to build up such foundations, concrete and standing. Let's come together, hands across the world, to relate in common language with voices to soar. There is peace, compassion, love that goes for miles as we all come together, all as one, to rule today. Coming together is about unity, community, to be heard and accepted as such. The world, people, emotions that are felt, positivity and respect, love, not hate. Rise above the low and see the horizons as endless. We as people see what the obvious is. The way it is, well, that's just the way it is. But there are other ways to change this theme. Heart, love, compassion, respect, and reaching out to others. All coming together, unified and bright. Come together, a duet with Gopal Kumar Radha Krishnan of India. Thank you.
Absolutely brilliant, Timothy. And again, like Alexandra asks down on the question, coming together, nice thought, but how about individuality? Which is what we see happening in the world today. If everybody came together, could you imagine what this world would be like, where there was no colour, no creed, no religion, no, everybody has a belief in each other, in the universe or whatever. But you get one individual, and as they say the old saying, one bad apple will spoil the whole barrel of apples. And the individuality. And we keep
Amen.
working on the
Amen.
masses. We keep talking about the masses, don't we? We're going to get everybody together. And we forget about the individual and everybody. And instead of dressing individually, we go on the big number because you get more in together in a big number. And it doesn't work. It
Right.
hasn't worked since A1. I'm not criticizing your poem in any way. I'm just taking from your poem exactly the bigger picture of everything. I just think we do things the wrong
Thank
way,
you.
really. That's just my opinion. We do things the wrong way. We go the wrong way about it. We start at the top instead of starting
Thank
at the
you.
bottom and working right up. Yeah. I mean, you can't
Well, I
build a
do
ceiling
hope that
before.
everyone over there I just say that I hope everyone over there that is new to me or has heard or listened to me, I hope that this is touched in everything I've said. And I hope that, you love. Check out Peyton's Poetry Productions, Food for the Mind, Heart, and Spirit. And,
Absolutely beautiful.
you know, a great show. It came through. God love, God bless. This was meant to be. The Gremlins are not around today.
No, they're not around today, and I'm absolutely delighted they're not around today, Timothy. I'm absolutely chuffed. It's been a pleasure having you on. It's been even more of a pleasure that we got to hear both of your poems, not just one. And it was an absolute joy to actually listen to the amount of spirit within both of them, not just one again. Thank you very much for joining me, Timothy, and I look forward to having you back again in the future.
I hope that you get me back.
I think the
Before I get
gremlins have
off,
come back and grabbed us, Timothy, because you hope you totally breaking up on.
Oh, I'll put it in a text. Don't forget, I left a voice text on you to check out my bio and throw that onto your page to have people get a little insight on just them and everything like that, if you don't mind.
I don't mind at all. You send it on over to me, buddy, and I'll just share it on out all over the place, yeah? Timothy,
Much
enjoy the rest of the
love.
weekend.
Thank you. You the
You're
same.
most
God bless.
welcome. Thank you for giving us your time and giving us your poetry. Have a great week ahead, my
Thank you
friend.
for listening.
See
Thank
you
you for
later,
listening.
Timothy. Bye-bye, mate.
Pieces.
To you too. What can I say? There's two pieces that could rip the heart and soul out of you. Vandita Darney, how are you, my dear? It is lovely to see you in. I'm trying to see if there's any names of that that's gone by me that I'm not actually seeing going through. Oh, I'm gonna try and pronounce this name. Alien Figuara. I probably got it totally wrong, but it's lovely to see you here anyway. Oh, it's absolutely beautiful seeing people in here. Ed Clinton, how are you, Ed? I hope you're having a little nip for me. Yeah? Happy Friends Day. Ed, hope all is going well. I hope everybody is well and all in good health. Christine, how would you like to come on and give us a poem or two? Christine? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Christine. I knew you were there. It's these glasses that are the wrong ones. I can barely see everybody as it is. I'm doing well. I'm holding out.
Hello, my dear.
Christine, it's lovely seeing you. Looking really fresh and bright and vibrant again this week.
Thank you. Yes, I'm feeling quite good. Thanks.
You need to get me a makeup artist or something, or just an artist.
That's enough, John.
Yeah, I don't want to overdo it, really. I really don't.
No,
God, we have a very full show this week, Christine.
I'll be quick then.
No. I'm just saying we have a very full show, as in the crowd.
Yes, I know. Yes, wonderful.
There's a huge, big crowd in. Trying to keep up with the other side of the list is absolutely manic.
Yes,
I'm lucky
great.
I'm lucky I have you guys on the other side of the show with Charlotte, Tracy, and yourself saying hello to everybody, because I'd never be able to keep up with both sides of this. It's absolutely nuts. And it was great having Timothy on now to do his poem. We got it. We got the whole poem at last.
Great.
Yes.
Well done, Timothy. Good for you.
And we got the added bonus of the second one.
We did.
The one that was duet written, yeah? Come together.
Yeah.
Absolutely beautiful.
Very
Christine, what have you got for me this week? Come on. What have you got for us? Not for me.
I've got 3 for you this week that you sent over. You told me you were only going to send 1, but you've actually sent 3. So
I sent 3, did I? Do you know why I sent 3? I've got to tell you this. I've got none.
Okay.
Because I took the new piece on for the review, and I'll be reviewing Marna Dupre Badgero for this week. People were asking me, what is the review? And God, I hate when people ask me questions and I don't have a clue what the answer is. Because I don't. The review will be what the review is when we have a person in front of us, yeah? And we'll have a chat. And I mean, I was trying to explain to some on the messenger, it's not an actual interview, it's a review of the person reviewing themselves. I'll just ask a few questions from a few pointers, yeah? And we will do the review. And you don't have to be a writer. You don't have to be a poet. You can be just one of the crowd that comes to watch the show. Come on, have a talk. You've got a life. Get to know each other in the community. A little bit more about each other.
Okay.
And I'm under threat as well, like Tracy Woodhead. I hope she's not here today. She is. She is. She's there. Yeah, Tracy. I think Tracy's going to review me.
There you go. Good. That's a good idea.
So you thought you were hard done by. What about me? I'm being hard done by now.
You started all this, baby.
I did, didn't I? I really started all this. I've got to learn how to slow this mind down. So who have you got? You've got three. I've given you three.
Yes, I've got three. Well, you've sent two actually, and I chose one myself this week.
Yeah,
And if you would like, I've also got one of my own this week. So I've got actually
absolutely
four,
brilliant.
if there's
Yeah.
time. You know, if there's
Oh,
enough
there's
time.
plenty of time. I mean, this doesn't run out. I think
No,
there's, think there's 2 hours on this or something, or 2.5 hours, Christine. I mean,
yeah.
it's not going to run out on us.
Unfortunately, I might run out because my connecting cable to load up my handy, my mobile, isn't working. So I've got a little bit of juice, but I may suddenly disappear, and I can't charge it until tomorrow, till I get to buy a new cable. So I'll
Oh,
do
do
my
you know?
best.
I'm going to zip up now and let you run like hell into this, yeah?
Okay, I'll run away.
But thank you for coming, Chrissy. I'm delighted you're here. Just in case I don't get to say goodbye.
Exactly.
But now or
It
never.
should hold out, but I've got about 90% on here, but it goes so quickly when we're on
It
live
does.
that
On the live, yes.
if I just disappear, that will be the reason. It has nothing whatsoever to do with you, okay?
Go on.
Okay, the first one I'm going to read is from Alexander Rodriguez again, and it's called Stages of Love. They glance at each other. They like what they see. Hardly a couple more stunning to look at there could be. Yet, love, this is not. They spend hours together, exchanging many ideas. They agreed on the meaning of luck, as well as on what constitutes fears. Yet love this is not. Even their opinion about politics and religion is the same. They would make great parents if it to that ever came. Yet love this is not. They both like to dance and together joined a gym. They lived together in a condo. A fight about money was truly slim. Yet love this is not. Then he met another lady, and she met another gent. They went on a double date, went off with the chosen mate. Neither one had found love. Details about this experience to each other next day they spilled. Some new sensation between them built. A strange urge to touch one another grew. Could that be love? Could it be true? The desire to feel what turns the other on suddenly became an encompassing want. It was this what had previously been missing in their otherwise so friendly bond. Now love was on its way. They fitted together like an artistic mould. Now love forever was meant to hold. Yes, this is love.
Wow. I got this in Messenger, Christine, from Alexandra the other day. And I had a read of it. And believe it or not, there was things I had in my mind to send you. And I thought, hold on, I've got to regroup and restart this. And I did. And I had a read of that. And I thought to myself, intriguing. I like this by the time I get to the end. I'm really liking this. And Alexandra has a great way of holding you in suspense, going down. And all the way I'm guessing, what the hell is love? What does this woman see as love? And it's so simply put to the finish. And I thought, I love this. Absolutely love it.
Yeah.
But she intrigues me. Alexandra will send me a poem now and again. We'll send a poem over to you, just out of the blue. Just bing, it'll be a messenger. And I've become to look forward to because of the way she actually writes her poetry. I love it. Absolutely wonderful. Thank you, Alexandra.
The second one, Johnny asked me to read. Johnny P. Lee wanted me to read one of his poems, and this one is called Seasons in My Soul. I love Johnny's titles. He always finds beautiful titles, I think, you know.
They're so spiritual and so uplifting, aren't they?
Yeah, they are, they really are. Seasons in my soul. When the cheering summer turns to fall, do the leaves of my soul turn red and gold? Can I remain awake and live all? Will my spirit yield to the advancing cold? Winter ushers in the cold stab of unrelenting harshness, of restraint, of howling wind and chilling rain. In silent solitude, prayers bloom to a new freshness, blossoming to ensure spring will come again. Oh, spring rolls in like a splendour in the grass. The robins puff their necks, purring like the cat, in answer to the love call, like the lad and the lass, love and loathe kiss on a bench they once did spat. Summer sends in the clowns, fun and laughter. The sun smiles and greets every merrymaker. The rain sits on the clouds to hold its splatter on each peopled shore, each dreamer, each hiker.
You know, Johnny puts imagery in there that you go through. I mean, when I read it first, I was on the shore, I was on the rock, I was everywhere inside of that poem. Everywhere
Yeah.
I've never been in my life. I've been to places in Johnny's poetry that only to me exist in the imagination, but they are real because I've seen some of the pictures Johnny puts up. These are real places. These aren't on this planet. They're just not here in Warrington. I've not lost you, have I? You've gone all still on me. Is it my net or your net, huh? Uh-oh. Can I still be heard out there, guys? Am I still on? Tracy? Charlotte? Can you guys hear me? I'm not sure if it's me or it's Christine that's gone off. I think I'm still on. Christine, I think you faded out on me. I'm gonna come back to you anyway because I need you here. No, you've gone. Your internet's gone. Your phone has died. Oh my God. I've got to go and get my brew, guys. Sorry. So I'm moving about just for a second. I will be straight back. Oh dear, we lost Christine on the internet. That is a total one-off. That's not happened before with Christine. Wow. Let me go back over the other side for a second. Marla, my dearest, I will have to come back to Christine at the end if she's not back up on the photographs. I'm going to wait for her to come back in. Diane Reed Burgess, didn't even see you there. Welcome, Diane. You're here every week. I love when you're in because then I know the show is running. There we go. I think I have Christine back now. I do indeed. Thank goodness for that. Whew. Look, the beads are running down everywhere. Oh, I was nearly jumping off the edge like a lemming there, guys. Here's Christine. Now, I told you she wasn't gone. I told you the phone didn't die. What did I say?
I think that was just a connection problem, John. It seemed to be.
It was a connection, yeah. I thought so
Yeah.
when you faded on.
Yeah.
But Johnny, like I said, Johnny brings you to places that you couldn't believe it on this planet at all because his imagery is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. I think I got to the end of that one before it cut off, didn't I?
You did? Yeah, you got right through that one, yeah.
Great.
Thank
Good.
goodness.
Yeah. So
Well done,
before it
Johnny.
happens,
Thank you very much for submitting that one to us.
yeah, lovely, Johnny. Really lovely. Before it cuts out again, in case it does, I'm going to read Charlotte's poem, Charlotte Rains. And this one,
Yes.
I found this somewhere on the internet, and she'd written herself that this is one of her favourite poems of her own. So I thought I'd like to read this for her because it's very pretty.
Beautiful.
And it's called Skylark. I shall not send my love away.
Christine, you're breaking up, darling. You'll have to start again.
Skylark. I shall not send my love away except on ends of sighing. His breath is such akin to mine, I sometimes feel I'm dying. A lone brown leaf is blown away, carried along with sweeping bits of wind and sometimes rain against the wall it's keeping. A skylark sings its sad old song, my ears again now hearing. I choke black all my salty tears and know his death is nearing. I feel a chill upon me now, it fills my heart with grieving. I close my eyes and sigh out loud. I felt his spirit leaving. That's it.
Charlotte's. I seen that up on Charlotte when she posted it the other day, and I love that poem. I think it's absolutely beautiful.
Yes, I did
And
too.
it's one of those poems you can't make a comment on it. Everything you want to comment is already in there. You come across pieces like that, there's not a word you can say that could add to the beauty
Yeah.
of the piece itself and the meaning of the piece.
Yeah.
So that was one of those I couldn't.
A lovely piece.
But I'm glad you spotted it and took it. And that's what we talked about a few weeks back. If you see something and you like, yes, just whip it down.
Yeah.
And you have it there because remember you're on that side. You're going to be reading the poetry anyway. So it's whatever fancies that you want to take, Christine, you just bring what you fancy, yeah?
Okay.
I'll send you a couple either way, 2, 3, whichever. And
Yeah.
that leaves you space or room if you think to pick whatever you want to pick in with it, yeah?
Okay, good. As I say, I saw that she liked that herself, so I thought I would just like to read it for her because it's one of her favourites.
Oh,
So,
she will be delighted at the surprise that you did. Believe
so.
me, she will be made up.
yeah, that'd be lovely. So the last one is one of mine, and this is probably something that a lot of expatriates might feel. You know, we never quite know where we belong, which country we belong to, either the one we live in or our hometown of England. And I wrote this at the time that I left England, which is now some 28 years ago, you know, on starting my
Oh no, don't tell me the internet's done it again. We're gonna have to do something with this internet. We'd have to get a government thing going here, Christine. Do you know that? I think it's a plot. It's a plot by the government against us on our show. I'm telling you.
Yeah, we've got the gremlins tonight, haven't we? So. Okay, I'll try again quickly.
Go on.
This one is called O England. O England, land of my birth, you pour once more into my consciousness, green, lush, and beautiful in my memory. From such fertile roots sprang my life, rich, youthful, and full of purpose. O England, still so full in me, now so far away, gone. Perhaps these new lands hold the key to my genesis. The same rain washes me, the same sun warms, strange, new, and thriving with energy, lifting the colourless shadow from overhead. Fresh life springs from this rich earth. Herein lies a new beauty, higher, wider, and further reaching, offering new challenges. O England, land of my birth, you pour once more into my consciousness. Tentatively, I traverse this abyss of life, searching out new ground, yet unreachable. O England, moulded by you, I must go forward. On.
Now, Christine, when you said at the start, which is home, is it where you live or where your roots started out? And I'm in the UK now. I think I came in 1996. They're 22 years. I'm over here now. And sometimes I think to myself, home is where the heart is. And then I think to myself, your heart is inside of you. It's where you are.
Yes.
It's the piece of ground you stand on. And at one stage, the whole of the world was joined together, they say,
Yeah.
in one piece of land. And I think it depends on how you settle. You get people that get homesick and everything else. But we seem to keep those roots within us. I mean, I've heard it in your poem. You've kept your roots.
Definitely.
You've not forgotten. Yes, exactly. I'll keep mine. But like I said before, I'm spiritual. I'm not concerned about my mortality or my human factor. I'm more concerned my spirit will be free when I go. And it doesn't matter if I go from England or I go from Ireland.
Ireland,
I
yeah.
will be gone. You know, in that sense. So I'm quite happy where I am. I don't think I would be any happier being back, more
No.
so
No.
than being here. I've
Yeah.
made some wonderful friends, met some beautiful people here. As much as I've met over there, time just moves on.
Yes.
And we move with it. We go with the flow, don't we?
Yes.
I love how you put that there in your piece.
Thank you.
Put that in just beautifully. You're welcome. There's 4 we've had tonight from you, and it looks like only 10 minutes have passed.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, you've got to do the review now, haven't you? So,
I will do the review of Marna now. Yes,
excellent.
definitely.
Looking
Have
forward
to do
to that.
Marna's review.
Yes, I'm really looking forward to
Definitely.
that.
Well, I had a chat with Marna the other night. We were going through where we would start, where it would lead, the usual. And I'm quite excited about this review, actually. And it's one of those reviews, I think I'm going to end up getting reviewed myself here, if I'm not careful. So I've got my wits about me with this lady. Well, what a lovely lady. I only met Marna about 3 or 4 weeks ago. But what a beautiful writer.
Yes, I
She
think so
writes
too.
absolutely beautiful pieces.
Yes, she does.
And the good thing tonight is I'm going to review her. She's also going to read 2 pieces of her own
Great.
that she has. I've been fortunate. I've gotten to read them before they actually come on. Not for the purpose. But I've got this sneaky suspicion that when Marna comes on now in about 2-3 minutes, I've got a very sneaky suspicion that she will have changed those 2 poems that I'm expecting.
Okay.
And there will be 2 different ones altogether, yeah? You
We
know,
shall see.
you know the way these things go. I like surprised anyway.
Yeah, we shall see.
Just in case she's here already.
Well, she is. I can see her name. She's there.
Oh, good God. Got that wrong as well, didn't I? See, you guys get to see everything. I get to see nothing.
I don't see much when I'm reading, but afterwards sometimes I scroll down and look.
Yeah.
So let's get her on. I'm
Well,
looking forward to this. It's going to.
I'm going to bring it on. Christine, have a lovely week ahead. And
Will do.
thanks a million for this week.
You're very welcome.
Absolutely brilliant.
And I hear you're going
Enjoy
to.
yourself.
I hear you're going to review me in a couple of weeks, so I better get prepared as
I
well.
have you on 4/11/18th.
Okay.
So I'm not expecting you to say I'm not available on the 18th. Well, I am. And
I might well not be on that day.
it doesn't matter. If you're busy on the 18th, I'll get you on the 11th.
Oh dear.
No problem.
I'm not going to get away with it, am I?
No, not at all. Not a chance.
Okay,
Oh,
John.
Christine,
Thanks to everybody.
thanks a million.
And looking forward to hearing
Have a
from you.
wonderful, wonderful week.
You
Yes.
too. Yeah.
Thank
Okay.
you so much.
Bye,
See you
everyone.
later.
Bye,
Bye-bye,
everyone.
Christine.
Bye.
Bye. Here's Christine. On time, big delivery, and brings us 4 beautiful poems from 4 beautiful poets. What can I say? What I can say is, this is new to me, and it's new to you guys, and it's the review. I know a long time ago on a show called The World Comes to You, I've done reviews, but I was reviewing poetry in itself. And it's moved on from there. And I'm going to try this show. I don't know how it's going to go. I'm sure the feedback from the viewers and the listeners will actually tell us how it's going as the weeks passed. And as I said, this will be a fortnightly review. We're not just reviewing the poetry of the person, we're reviewing parts of their life. And only what the person will give us is what will be reviewed. There's no pushing. It's nice and relaxed. I'm looking forward to it now. So Marna Dupree Badgerow, we're ready to review you. Yeah. Well, it gets to my turn. I wonder, am I going to be so easy? I doubt it very much. But in comes Marna, and we're approaching the turn down the 1 furlong straight. And
Am I there?
Action! Hello, Marna. Welcome.
Hello. Well, oh, thank you.
Oh, it's great to see you here.
It's great to be here. Lucky
We had a
enough, we
nice
only
chat the other night, did we not?
What's that?
We had a nice chat the other night.
Yes, we did.
Yeah?
And I just heard what you said about whether I would surprise you. I don't
Yeah?
know. I don't know what poems you thought I would be reading.
You've forgotten already? Oh,
No,
dear.
I know of one, and I wasn't sure about the other one. But yes, I did find one. I'm thinking, well, maybe I could switch out, but
Oh,
he knows
yeah.
well. Guys, I've already said he's like a brother because we think too much alike. Well, you know, bratty little sisters have to fool the brothers, so here I am.
Well, sister, we're going to start. We're going to listen. I love the chat we had the other night. And I'm loving the fact that you're on here with me in the review. And remember, you are the first ever review. And I'm going to ask you the second question first and then come to the first question second. Yeah? Like I said, these are in no particular order. So these are the tips we got from each other the other night. I'm going to ask you, why do you write, Marna?
I write because words are whispered to me. And I know some may understand that, and some are probably thinking this woman is nuts, but sometimes I'll be sitting there and these words will come into my mind and I just have to write. But I think the reason I write more than anything, it's a way to express those things that I find sometimes very hard to say. Does that make sense?
It makes a lot of sense. Which leads me into your second question. What does 20 over 800 mean to you? Because the reason I'm asking you this question is after our chat the other night, I had no idea. I thought you were getting all mathematical on me. I thought we
No,
were going to build a pyramid or something, you know, in the middle of Dublin. But that wasn't the case.
no,
Tell us what
no.
20 over 800 means.
I'll explain. I am what they term here as legally blind, which means that I do have some vision, but it's very limited vision. And 2800 means that what you can see 800 feet away, I have to be 20 feet away to see it. And that doesn't mean I'm really going to see it very well. That just means I'm going to see that something's there. And that's the vision that I had. I've been legally blind since birth, but it's gotten worse in the last 10 years. Until last year, I did have eye surgery to remove cataracts, those, little creatures that decide they need to come and visit you. And when my doctor, well, I had to come up with a nice way to explain them. When my doctor does his surgery, he also replaces the lenses of your eyes. And I had both eyes done a month apart. And with the lens replacement, another one of my eye conditions was fixed. Not totally, but improved greatly. So I went from having vision of 2800 to now it's just at 2200, which is the border of legal blindness. And that means that what you see at 200 feet, I have to be at 20 feet to see. So to say it was a huge improvement would be the biggest understatement I've ever made.
Good job you said that, Marna, because I was just going to say that. But you took the
Yeah,
words right out of my mouth.
it's like a whole new world. The song "A Whole New World." Yeah, that's me. It's a whole new world, and
I
some of
can
it is
only, I can only, just like the viewers and the listeners now, I can only imagine how that must feel to you because I've read some of your poetry before I knew and before you told me that you were legally blind. Yeah?
yes.
20 over 800. And I read some of your poetry previous to that. And the vision in it, the vibrancy, the beauty of everything. And I, counted as fully sighted, never even noticed these things from day to day walking through the street, through the park. God Almighty, talk about being embarrassed and ashamed of
Explain.
oneself.
Do you want me to explain that now?
Yeah?
I've always relied on my imagination. And what I found was truly a blessing to me was after the surgery, I discovered my imagination was pretty well on, it was spot on. And I was like, whoa, I didn't know I have any other word to say to that. But I also listen to things, and that's what the those who have trouble with their vision learn to do. Everyone thinks that if when you become blind, your hearing gets better. No, it's not your hearing that gets better. You learn to listen more carefully, and that's what I do. I listen, I touch, I smell, I taste. That's my world, And it still is, even with the new vision, it still is.
Again, listening to what you say just now, what I see, what I take for granted, like you said, you listen more carefully. Because I've got sight, I don't seem to need to listen, or I think I don't need to listen more carefully. I take it for granted, my hearing. I take my taste for granted. God Almighty. And it's only when you speak to somebody in your position that you start to see the inspiration that you actually give out from your position. And I'm talking as the recipient of just speaking to you on this matter. It's just wow.
Thank
Where have I
you
been?
for that.
I feel like a
Thank,
dinosaur.
well, thank you for that. But to be honest, I'm just me. You know, I am whatever the product of my making is, that's me. And my blindness never defined me. I didn't let it. I probably did things that would shock some of our participants here today. But, you know, the only thing I promise you guys I don't do is drive, okay? Because
Yeah.
stupid is not written across my forehead. No. No, other than that, you know, there's not much I haven't done, or if there's something that I don't think I can do, I will admit, no, I can't do that. And I don't do it in shame. I do it because I'm honest. You know,
Yes.
blind does bring an honesty to you that you can't deny it. So but I'm just who I am.
And that's the best. That is the best. Be who you are. Because you can only be that. Otherwise, you don't get to know yourself. Let me
That's
ask
right.
you another question, Marina.
What's that?
What do you do when you're not writing?
Reading. I love to read, but I'm one of the funny ones because I read some audiobooks, but this is my little, you know, quirk. Even when I'm listening to an audiobook, I have to be holding a book in my hands.
I
And
like
also,
that.
yeah, it's like I got to feel that book. I have to feel that the warmth of the, and it doesn't have to be the book of what I'm reading. It could be any book, but I have to feel the warmth of a book in my hands because up until when the eyes started to get worse, I was reading books, large print, of course, and still up to my face, which is, you know, how I read. But, you know, but even when the eyes got really bad, I had to depend more on audiobooks. And I'm still holding a book in my hand because if I don't have that, I don't feel like I'm really reading it. That's
It's
not
like a
as quick.
question we asked on the job page a while back. Based on some kind of nostalgia or something. It was on one of the pages anyway. And somebody came back with the smell of books, the scent. Books have a scent, and they do. When you buy it new and when they go old and musty and everything else. And the feel of a book has that special feel to the hands. You've often picked up a book and thought, I'll never read that, judging the book by the cover, of course. And you open the book and you get the scent, and all of a sudden you're lost in a story you thought you were never going to read.
Exactly.
Yeah.
One of my oldest books is actually a book of Robert Frost poems. And it is
Oh,
old
I
and
love
musty
Robert
now.
Frost.
I do too. Um, it's old and musty now, but it's still my favorite book to hold. I mean, it's actually in large print, and I read it often.
Excellent. And what a book to hold. Like when you got Frost in your hands, you got an old version of Frost. You're not only holding the book that Frost has written, you're holding
Oh,
a part of
yeah.
Frost himself,
I
where
used
he's
him in
been.
my valedictory speech in high school, my graduation speech. I was valedictorian, which means I was the highest in the class, first in the class. And I used one of the an excerpt from Road Not Taken in my valedictory speech. Because even then I'm one, you know, to tell my fellow blind classmates that, you know, don't walk the path that others walk. You walk the road not taken and make your own path. Make your own. your footsteps, you don't follow them, you follow your own. And
I
that's the way
love your advice. Your
that,
advice is absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So when did you first start to post your poetry in groups?
actually, I belong to a website, and I don't think I started posting until 2004 or something like that. I was trying to think. It's been, it's been a while, but I came to writing late. I didn't start writing until I was getting, not say up in years, but I was beginning to see the ladder. Okay.
I've not heard it put that way before, but I like it.
Yeah, it's like I don't know how to put that. Yeah, yeah. I was. Yeah, I did. I just I met a friend on a chat room, and she says she wrote poetry, and I said, okay, maybe I could do that, and I started doing it, and then here I am.
Beautiful. Absolutely. Like I said earlier, Marna, I've read some of your poetry, and I just get lost in what you write because it's like you put your hand out, you reach out and invite the reader to walk alongside you through exactly what you're writing. And it doesn't matter what you're writing about. It's like the hand is out there. And the reader, I don't think, has a choice when a poet does something like that. Damn, to reach their hand out and take that walk. It's the age-old saying of, damned if I do and damned if I don't. And you've got to find out at the end of the walk. And I've enjoyed the
Well,
walk so far, all the way through. Absolutely beautiful.
thank you so much, and that's my intent. If I can inspire someone by anything I write, I feel like the words have been given purpose, and that's all I'm looking for.
That's a
It's
beautiful thing
not
to be
about
all to. Yes. Yeah, it's about what you can offer and what can be received. I love that. Now I'm going to ask you a big question. Are you ready?
I
Who
think.
inspires you to write?
Oh, well, who inspired me in the beginning were some of the old bards like Frost, even Edgar Allan Poe, if you can believe that. Even though I
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
read many, but also Edna St. Vincent Millay, um, Sylvia Plath. I mean, there's many, but the person who inspired me the most has since passed away, and his name was Bill Broom. He was a fellow poet on the website I was on. That man was nearing 90, and he took me under his wing, and he taught me how to fly with my poetry.
Wow. There are very few people. I mean, I go back, we talk about Frost, we talk about Poe and others out there. I'll be honest, I am useless with the old bards, as in I know one or two of them. I know
Hmm.
others by name when I hear the name. I know nothing of them. Because I think my interest in poetry became the modern day poetry. And the new poets, they've
Hmm.
had their turn, they're now in the graveyard and we have something else leading us along to the
Hmm.
next path and the next road. And I'm a stickler. I think the newest poet I can remember was Maya Angelou, who was a
Yes,
very inspirational woman.
yes,
Absolute inspiration to the world, no matter what color, creed, or anything else. The woman,
right. Also like Billy Collins. His poetry is a little bit different, but I love him.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about poets in general. There is always that little bit of
Hmm.
difference. And it doesn't matter how little it is or how big it is. There is that difference that can get us to look at things in ways we have failed to look at them.
Right. And that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't do this for praise and accolades and applause or anything like that. I do this so that, like I said, and when a reader reads something I've written and their interpretation is not what my intent was, I don't get upset. And I've run across writers who do, and I'm like, they said, why doesn't it bother you? I said, because my life experience isn't theirs. I put the words out there. and they can
Yeah.
take from it what they will.
Yes. And
And
they
that's
do.
mhm.
And they do at the best of times. I was asked a question yesterday, Marna, just on something you've said there. You just hit something there a second ago. It's not for accolades and everything else. I was asked, why do I do this show when some people don't give anything back? This is not about what people are going to give back. This is what people
No,
have already given out. If I can
exactly.
put a small show on and get a few hundred people together and get the people that have already put something out and get them to show themselves as the people have done so. It's not for the accolades, no. It's so you can say this is a real person that has really given something. That's what this show is all about. It's about people, being with people, being together,
Hmm.
sharing together, and helping each other along the road of life. It's one road, it's called life. And we reach the end of it, it's called death. And what comes after, we will only experience once we reach that destination.
Well, to show you what kind of writer I am as far as accolades and stuff, my latest book, the profits of my latest book I'm putting into a fund to help send some children at our church to summer camp. The parents who can't afford to send their children, I'm donating that to help send the kids to summer camp. It's
Absolutely beautiful.
it's
And
not about
again,
money for me.
you show a purpose and a gratitude for the talents that you have. Always
Exactly.
accepting it is not yours. It's being given to you. It's a gift. So
Exactly.
you make a gift the best you can from the gift you have received. I love that kind of way. That is just absolutely awesome. And that's not praise or accolading or anything else. That is honesty from the
That's
heart.
I'm paying it back. I mean, because I don't know where the whispers are coming from. All I know is that sometimes they wake me in the middle of the night. But, you know, if it is from him, well, then, I'm going to pay it back. And I'm not, I'm going to pay it back in the way that I know will help others, which is what I always do.
Marna, for me,
Yes.
you are an inspiration. And I'm sure for most, if not
Thank,
all, that have seen you here today, you are an inspiration in
thank you.
all that you do and everything you continue to do. And I find myself so blessed to have met you as a friend here on Facebook. And like I
Thank you.
said before, I've met some absolutely amazing people on on this Facebook and on this platform, and I'm sure I'm going to meet many, many more. And it's a pleasure, an absolute pleasure, and a big thank you from me for coming tonight for the review. We've
Well, thank
started the
you
review,
for inviting me.
and all we can do is hopefully grow with it as we bring
Uh,
new people in.
What about inspirations? I will tell you, my two of my biggest inspirations in life were two of my older brothers. There were 6 children in the family. 3 of us were legally blind. It's a genetic issue. My 2 older brothers were, you think that I'm bold and out there? No, 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 no. My one brother owned restaurants. 3 of them actually that he managed, and he was legally blind. His vision was actually worse than mine. My
Wow.
other brother worked in a lumber company and worked there for 50 years before he finally retired at age 71. And the reason he said he didn't retire because he had projects to do at work, projects to do at home. At work, he was the boss and he got paid. At home, he wasn't the boss and nobody paid him anything. So they were my mentors. My parents learned with them about raising children, with a vision problem. But I have to say, the 3 of us were treated no differently than the 3-sighted kids. And that is what made me the person I am today. I will be eternally grateful to be given to the parents that I was given to.
Do you know what I have just remembered? You're probably gonna choke me after this. Listen, I've just remembered. You're the lady that gives me quotes each week. You were giving me
Yes.
a quote in my messenger. And I'm going to be a cheeky Irish devil today. And I'm going to say to you, Marna, I'm going to let you give us the quote for this week. Why don't you give us one of your quotes
Well, what I'm
for
going
the
to do is give you a quote from the newest book, and it has to do a little bit with vision, but it still makes sense. The quote is, "Do not speak to me loudly so I might hear you. Speak to me softly so I might listen."
I love that. I love that. Too many people just want to be heard, and the message is lost in the talk, isn't it?
Mhm.
Wow.
But here's another quote that I think is pretty fitting sometimes today, is that this is how it goes, and I'm sorry for anyone. I'm not trying to offend anyone, um, but someone I ran into kind of inspired this quote because, I didn't want to say shut up, but what I found was that loose tongues and tight lips are not found on the same mouth. Okay? I apologize.
That's a nice quote to bring into the next week. Now that's something gives you all something to think about out there. That's all you can think about that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to
It,
use that to the next one that gets at me on Facebook. I will use that. That's the one they're going to get slapped with. Yeah, I'll just
Now,
put that one in.
one of my quotes my son borrowed to put in his office, on his office wall. He's a loss prevention manager, which is the one who um, catches the shoplifters in stores,
Yeah.
and and he has to, in a way, interrogate them when he catches them. And this is the quote he borrowed from me because he thought it was so fitting. And the quote reads, "Before speaking, always remember that your words are an indicator of your intelligence or lack of it." So just saying.
Oh yes, choose your P's and Q's carefully. Marna,
Exactly.
you are an absolute delight to review. And I'm going to have you on again in the future to read some poetry. But before we do that, we're going to listen to two of your poems. Because we have two
Okay.
beautiful poems coming up from you. I think they're the same two I've spoke to you about. If they're not, I'm not going to be disappointed anyway.
Well, yeah, I know you wanted me to read Master of the Art, correct? The Ed,
Awesome.
the Edna St. Vincent Millay tribute. Yes, this is an Edna St. Vincent Millay tribute, and the poem begins with an excerpt from her poem "When the Year Grows Old." Master of the Art. And often when the brown leaves were brittle on the ground, and the wind in the chimney made a melancholy sound, I pause in my reading, my thoughts lingering on the verse, feeling the impact of a poet's mere words. The textured leaves my fingers brush, in brittle wastes they lay. The plaintive song of rustling wind, its melody softly plays. And I, in wonder, so inspired by this poet's brooding plight, take up my pen, search my soul, and slowly begin to write. Mere words that cling to breaths from a poet's thoughts, to linger still in patient pause until the ink begins to fill a silent quill. For in truth, a poet's choice to scribe is naught. Those words, the master of the poet's mind, muses lulled into a flow poetic with strings of verse or lyric prose perchance, to breathe life into thoughts born in rhyme. Is the poet only one of service? Is the poet only of service then to scribe from the true master of the art? Perhaps with words a poem's life begins, but these words are born within a poet's heart. With trembling hand I set down my pen to read my scribbled words, a meager dedication, I thought, to a poet's inspiring verse. Absorbed am I in my musings, and I again for a second brief listen to wind's plaintive call and hear each brittle leaf. that mere words could wield such power and touch a reader's heart is a tribute to a poet's craft, a true master of the art. For I feel each wind, hear each sigh, as my years grow old and time goes by.
Wow, that is beautiful. You know, from the point where you read the line, the impact of a mere poet's or a poet's mere words
Yeah.
tells the reader you're not leaving this poem now. You're coming all the way through. You're coming on the trip that you want to come on. And you brought us to a wonderland of poetry land and actual factual feeling and emotion of what happens in poetry to a lot of us. To a lot of us, there is. Before I let you, I'm just going to say hello to a lady here that's been trying to say hello to me for quite a while. And I don't get to see people at the moment, Marna, because I'm on a separate side now. I'm on the camera side of the show, and these are on the chat side. And it's a lady named Barb Falk from Ontario in Canada. Hello, Barb, and thank you. Barb is a newcomer, and thank you for joining us here on the Dear John Show. Marna, back to you. So let me see. You put that one. How long? Because you shocked me the other night when you told me of one particular poem that took you practically 5 minutes when we had our little chat. You 5 to 15 minutes poem together, and I had read it. I had commented on the poem, and you blew me out of the water because the feeling, the emotion, the description in the poem itself that I had read, embarrassingly don't remember the name of, but remember loving the poem and making the comments. And you tell me then in our little chat the other night on Messenger that, oh, it took me 5 to 15 minutes.
Sometimes it happens that way. You know, I'll sit here. I can't type fast enough for my brain. I mean, my brain is going faster than my hands can type it.
I love that feeling.
And by the way, yes, I do type. People ask me, well, if you're blind, how can you type? And I'm thinking, well, maybe I shouldn't tell them that my hands are below the desk because I don't look when I type. I touch type. So I don't even look when I type.
Yes.
Yeah. It's scary. But I do know Braille too, which is fun.
I can see you're having fun anyway.
Hey, I don't write in Braille. It takes too long.
Me too. I write just because it's there to write.
Well, in
if it's
Braille,
not there to write, I don't fret. If nothing comes, I don't fret that nothing has come because, like you said earlier on, Marta, there's times I'm in bed and I need to be up at sometimes 4 a.m., sometimes 5 a.m., depending on the shift I'm on. I'll get on to 10, 11 o'clock at night, and all of a sudden I got to be about 3:34, 4:35, back up. So I'm just blinking and getting back up. And in that time, I may wake up to write words down.
Well, I take medication because of one of my health conditions, and it's supposed to help me sleep. And it does. And sometimes these words can wake me up out of this prescription-induced slumber. And I still have to write them.
Yes, it can, and it has been known to keep sleeping tablets awake. Yes.
Well, and you know, and I say they're like the mysterious children that you've raised and already sent off, and they come back to haunt you. You know, I don't know.
Of course they do. You got to remember, Marna, they're always going to be children forever.
Oh yeah.
They'll never outgrow us in age, and so therefore they will always see themselves as the child. Even when they're 60, it doesn't get any better.
Oh, my kids say mama never grow up, so you know I'm game with that. I'll be as young as I want to be, as long as I want to be.
Exactly, yes. So you can be Tinkerbell. I'm going to be Peter Pan forever. How's that, sis?
Okay, Tinkerbell. Wait, that means I have to fly. That's not happening, okay?
You told me 20 minutes ago you were flying.
That's different. I'm flying with the words. That's different than flying Tinkerbell. Well, I don't know. You know, I wouldn't need a driver's license, so I guess I'm good to go. Okay, that's
No,
cool.
no, no, no. Stick to flying. Please stick to flying.
Don't you love my reading glasses that I have to wear to
I
read? Oh,
love
yeah.
your reading glasses. I
Oh,
wish
sure.
mine were as straight as that. Mine are askew, look. Good God.
Yeah, I
Mine are
can't do
totally askew.
so. I can't do bifocals. They don't give them to me because I can't read with them. I can't see with them actually because my muscles don't work that way.
Don't work that way, yeah.
No, the muscles in my eyes have a mind of their own. They go where they want to go and not usually where
You're
I
not
want
getting
them.
a say in the matter. That is it.
No, don't say in the matter. So,
Let us hear your second one.
huh?
Tell us your second poem. You going to read the second one?
Yes. Okay. Do you
Yeah.
want me to read Ghost or do you want me to read the one that I found?
I'm, we'll go for the one you found. We can always do the other one the second time, yeah?
Okay. It's a haibun, which is, if anyone knows, it's a haiku with the prose piece after it. And it's called Her Reality.
By the way, this is the first haiku we've ever had.
This is a haibun.
Oh, it's a high bond, not a
It's a
haiku.
it's a haiku, then it has a prose piece after it that kind of, in a way, you're using a prose. It doesn't really have anything to do with the
Yeah.
haiku, but it can.
It's not a 5775557. Yeah, I know, yeah.
Yeah, but it's the prose piece is after. So this
Okay.
is Her Reality. It's on my computer, so this ought to be good. Yeah, let me find my cursor. It's hiding. There it is. Found it. Her Reality. The rustle of leaves brushing against summer wind creates melodies. She had never made a bucket list of what she wanted to experience, but never had, because she felt that her life had been full. As she watches the leaves at play, she begins to understand why she never did make that list. She had lived her life so dependent on her imagination that it never occurred to her to list those things she'd like to see. And yet here she is seeing those things once only imagined. She reaches for her pen and paper and begins to write as tears fill her eyes. Yes, it was a list, but not one of dreams. No, she writes of this new reality, this world that blends painted pictures and concertos of nature. How blessed she is to have ever known this. She writes her last reality for the day and touches her pen to her heart. Her last reality listed is a tear shed on paper to blend with the ink of her pen.
Oh, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful, Marna. And I love that it's all on the bucket list. I mean, we would all love to have a bucket list, wouldn't we? And
Yeah,
complete everything that we put into the bucket. And yet, at the end, we would still say when we miss one thing, there's no time. We've
yeah, and
allowed time to take everything, haven't we?
for me, having a bucket list of things I'd like to see. Well, you know what? I'm not sure what that would. I didn't make one because what would that be? I don't know. And my kids actually would like to take me to places that we used to go on vacation, so that now I could really see it. I guess I got great kids, but they would love to do that. Like we visited the mountains, and I just couldn't see all the scenery. And I'm thinking, I told my daughter, I said, no, we could probably do without the mountains, because mom and heights don't work well. But even just we've went to planetariums, we've gone to the zoo. I have not been. And another thing I'd like to do, just so you know, I do bowl. I'm a bowler. I have not bowled since the eye surgery, so it would be kind of interesting to bowl and actually see the pins at the end of the alley.
Yeah,
It'd be interesting.
it will. So long as there's
So,
nobody at the end of the alley.
well, people would ask me, because I bowled in leagues. I was a pretty good bowler. And people would ask me, well, What do you? Can you see the pins? I said no. I bowled for a blob of white down there because that's all I see. I'm kind of afraid to go because now that I can see what I'm bowling at, I'm not sure if I know how to bowl anymore.
You
But knowing,
know, you are an inspirational woman. And Paul Sebastian, one of our viewers, one of our listeners, one of our poets, has said that himself in a comment earlier on. You're an inspiration. You're some woman. And that is, and I mean, he doesn't mean that any other way than what your contribution is to others is
well,
absolutely
thank
amazing. There's people out there, you know as well as I do, and we call a spade because it's a spade. There's people out there wallow in self-pity. They stub their finger or their toe and they want prayers sent to them forever. You know, and
you.
it's,
For me,
but
pity is a waste of my time.
yes, pity. We used to have a saying in Ireland: pity is next to hanging, and it is. You hang yourself through your pity. You leave yourself
I
hung on the
don't
clothesline.
don't like when people feel sorry for me because I'm blind. Because in
No,
my mind, when they do that, they're kind of lessening my worth in this world by feeling sorry for me. Don't feel sorry for me
no.
ever.
I'm more concerned that your hearing is better now. I'd be afraid to say anything in the room, never mind do anything. You know
You'd
what I
be
mean,
what?
Marna? Like you would hear me from. I mean, we got a 20/800 for your sight. Yeah,
Yeah.
you probably have the advantage on me on
You know,
hearing. Yeah,
if they say, well, I feel bad that it's like that. That's fine, but sometimes, yeah, I got looks of pity, sheer pity, and no. My son one time told someone who was making comments because I was reading something on a package in a grocery store, and I had it up close. I mean, to my nose. I mean, I smell my groceries more than I look at my groceries, but I'm reading it and they're talking about me. And my son, who's a lot like he says, you might want to talk a little bit softer because she can hear everything you're saying. I understand people do not understand, and that's fine. If they ask me questions about my blindness, I answer it without
yeah.
without
But,
question.
but ask the questions. Don't act in ignorance like the lady has acted in ignorance. Then ask the
Yeah.
question. If you don't ask
Well,
the question, you're gonna get no answers, or you get
well,
all the
well,
wrong.
we're all grown-ups here, so I'll leave everyone with a funny. Okay. I
Go
was
on.
told, I was asked one time, was told once that this woman did not know people like me could have children. Me being blind. Okay. Stop
Sorry.
laughing, John. My reply to her was that my eyes were not attached to that part of my body. I didn't know what else to say, guys. I mean, that's what came out.
Marna, on
I,
that note, I'm gonna let the people digest. That's beautiful. That's absolutely magic. Oh my God.
well,
What?
it's like, I raised three children and, they all survived almost. I mean, no, they didn't. No, all three survived and but my two sons my one son didn't even realize mom was blind. He told his sister that he thought it was a joke because mom always caught him doing something wrong. And when I told my late husband about it, he says, "Well, did you explain it to him?" I looked at my husband like he was crazy. I'm like, I'm not saying anything. Let him think I'm Superwoman. It works for me. Now you'll all know a little bit more about me.
You have made my weekend. You have. Marla, thank you so much for coming on. And
Well,
thank you
thank.
so much for agreeing to the review. I've enjoyed every minute of that. And thank
I
you for
hope I
your
didn't
beautiful
talk too
poetry.
much.
Not at all. Good God, no.
Okay.
No. I need someone who can out-talk me now and again. You know this, don't you?
You met the wrong person.
Oh, man, I have a lovely end to the weekend and have a beautiful week ahead. I'll be chatting with
Oh
you in
yeah,
Messenger
it's
around the
It's
weekend.
Mardi Gras time here, guys. Okay, just saying.
Yeah,
And Myrna does not go to the parades.
no.
No, I've been there. I've done that. I've seen everything I want to see, and it's good. They can go without me.
Myrna,
But besides, I can't take the chance of being hit in the eye by anything. I'd rather not lose the vision. No,
Myrna, have a beautiful, beautiful evening.
you too. And to all my friends here, I'm so glad you came, and I hope you enjoyed this. I had a great time. I actually went at church this morning. I prayed. I'm like, please let me get through this because I wasn't sure, but it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it.
Well, your prayers have surely been answered because we've gotten through this, and I'm so, so relaxed and
And we
laid
did.
back.
Gremlins didn't bite. Oh my goodness. The gremlins usually bite, so I'm just saying,
Well, you know, Myrna, I will have you back again anytime. Have a beautiful evening. I'm going
You
to
too.
return to the viewers now, and I'll do me wrap up just shortly. Have a
Good
great, great
of you.
evening.
I know it's nighttime for you guys. It's still afternoon for me, but
Have
good
a
night.
great time. I will speak to you later. Bye bye, Myrna.
Bye-bye.
Myrna Dupree Badger. What can I say? I met the lady 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, and already I'm reviewing this lady. What an absolute inspiration to all of us. You can hear it in the words that she writes, and she's just read out to us. It is absolutely fantastic. Alexandra Rodriguez, a very good week ahead to you as well. You have a group of Facebook called We Did It. This is Alexandra Rodriguez, by the way, guys. Called We Did It. Come over and post any accomplishments you want the world to know about. That is a beautiful invitation. Thank you, Alexandra. So get yourselves over there, guys, when you get a chance. On Facebook, called We Did It is the name of the group. Type in We Did It, and it will come up with Alexandra in there. Nina Tilo, she is absolutely brilliant. Kelly, I can't pronounce your second name. I'll try it. Kelly Fangoy Bergeron. Thank you, Kelly, and thank you for being here. I've not seen your name before. I'm delighted you're in. Absolutely love all newcomers and everybody into the community. But yes, I've enjoyed the interview. She was a beautiful person to interview. And I mean, it wasn't even supposed to be an interview, it was supposed to be a review. And it was absolutely gorgeous. She is a lovely, lovely lady to speak to. I spoke to her for the first time on Tuesday or Wednesday. I had my first talk with Marna on Messenger phone. And like I said, the other show that I found, You're Most Welcome, Kelly. The show I found on World Poetry Open Mic that Diane Forbes Crompton sent me to, go on that email and email them if you want to read your poetry on their show. And as I said, everything is done on Skype. People get a phone number and everything else to ring. If you're attached to Skype, Skype in and have a chat with them. Ah, Kelly is your neighbour, Miranda. Thank you very much for that piece of information. That's beautiful. Beautiful. Guys, I've let Miranda give you your, what is it called? Your quotes for the week that time, for the week ahead. And like I said earlier on, happy Friendship Day to all. And like I wrote in the poem last week, friend and foe, even to my foes, happy Friendship Day. Friendships, no matter what the falling out, never die. They don't. So think what you like, because they don't. Guys, I have had a beautiful weekend with this show. I've enjoyed the review. I've enjoyed the poetry from Christine. Tracy Woodhead, thank you again, and Charlotte Rains. The two of you are absolutely brilliant with the comments and the welcomings inside of this group to everybody that comes in. You don't miss anybody, the pair of you. Absolutely fabulous. And Charlotte, I was as surprised as you were when Skylark was read out. I didn't, I promise, send it to Christine. Christine took it herself to read Skylark. And I'm glad she did, because that is a poem I actually love myself. I love reading Skylark. Everybody have a wonderful week ahead. May your God bless you. May the universe shower upon you all good things. And may your health be your wealth through your life. Thank you for joining me, John Kavanagh, on the Dear John Show. I have had an absolutely brilliant end to my weekend because of all of you. Have a great weekend. Finish. Have a great week ahead. And again, next Sunday, right here at the same time, I will see you all, God willing. God bless you all. See you next Sunday. And thank you for joining me on the Dear John Show. Night.